how to take herbs. People have a lot of misunderstandings about taking herbs. We think that we can just take one single herb and cure our health problems. We think turmeric is a cure-all, for example, or moringa is a superfood or super herb. But in fact, if you look at history in Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic or Indian medicine, they're very rarely using single herbs. They're mostly formulas. For now, we see even ashwagandha is becoming very popular, but it's very heavy and hard to digest. So if you don't mix it with a little ginger, a little cumin, some warming herbs, then you're not going to have a good effect. And it's also a building, strengthening herb, but if you're overweight, this can contribute to the problem. And it's also related to inflammation in larger amounts. So if you're a pitta person with a lot of inflammation, you can't be taking a lot of ashwagandha. And furthermore, people often don't take the right quantities of herbs. I see people taking little capsules of ashwagandha, and this is just a powdered plant. So, you really need teaspoons, even a tablespoon twice a day to make a difference. So these little capsules are often insufficient when it comes to taking herbs. Herbs is more of a quantity. You have to take a quantity, like a quarter ounce, 2 ounces, 3 ounces, even up to half a pound by the time your condition is better. People think that it's similar to medicine, like you take the herb and then, the problem should go away. And then when you stop the herb, it comes back. No, herbs don't work like that. Herb is addressing the cause. If the diagnosis was correct and the proper herbs were given, then the herb is going to remove the cause. So you have to take the herb for a little while to remove the cause, remove the inflammation, clean out the liver, clean out the colon, clean out the lymphatic system, or strengthen the nerves, or calm the mind. And once the herb has done the job, then you don't have to keep taking it. You don't have to take the herbs forever. But they do take time, and they do take quantity. It's like a volume. Sometimes people say, well, it didn't work. And I say, how much of it did you take of the jar of 6 ounces? And they said, well, just a little bit on the top. And I said, well, you finished the whole jar of 6 ounces and then report back to me how you're doing. And many people with inflammation and rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, I give them the anti-inflammatory herbs, which don't include turmeric because it's not that anti-inflammatory in reality. They don't use it very much in Ayurveda, turmeric. It's mostly used for cooking. It's just kind of overhyped today. But anyway, we give them things like frankincense powder and other amlaki and other anti-inflammatories, plus other gugulus and resins to help clean out the joints. And after they take a jar or two of these, they come back and I say, how much of your pain is gone after you've stopped the herbs? And they say, well, it's 25% better for sure. Then I know that I have to give them 3 more jars 3 times. If they say it's half gone, then I know just 1 more jar and it will finish the job. So, herbs have jobs. When you take an herb, they have a job to do. They're not curing diseases. They're supporting systems and tissue in the body, and they all have actions. They can stimulate the nerves, or they can support the nerves. They can build fat, they can help burn fat. They can clean the colon, or they can reduce inflammation in the colon. They have actions. So, and mostly we're mixing the herbs in formulas. Teas are light and hit quickly, more for acute conditions and short-term results. Powdered herbs, are more strong, more powerful for more serious conditions and have more cleansing and nutritive power to them because you're ingesting the whole herb, not just the extract. Tinctures are very weak. They're too much of an extract and too light, and particularly when they're in alcohol, they just rush into the system and they don't have a deep lasting effect like ingesting the herb like in a powder form. You can also take herbs in ghee. You can take fermented herbs. They come in very different forms, but they're mostly formulas. And the interesting thing is, most people don't know that for almost every health condition, there's already herbal formulas that have been designed in for these conditions, because most of these health conditions we have today existed in the past. I mean, there are exceptions like HIV, and we have more occurrence of many of these conditions like cancer and tumors and neurological problems than they did in the past, but they knew about it and they had formulas that already exist. So a good herbalist is not really thinking of new formulas, but using traditional and proven formulas that already exist. And usually you're not going to just have one formula for your health, because maybe there's one formula for your particular condition, high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, blood sugar, or insomnia, but there's other herbs that generally have to be provided for digestion, elimination, sleep, because you really have to treat the whole person, not just the condition. So there's usually multiple formulas are given, and so you're actually dealing with hundreds of herbs for a proper treatment. I heard of somebody who went to a Tibetan doctor. I said, what did he give you? And he said, oh, he gave me like 4 or 5 jars of things. He gave me a tea, he gave me a few powders, he gave me a drink, and I take this in the morning, this after meals. And I said, this guy's good. That's the sign of a good herbalist. And the woman concurred that it helped tremendously, and the results were good. But she was clearly taking a lot of herbs, not just one herb. So I hope that helped you better understand how to use herbs and the importance of working with a good herbalist and not attempting to just try to research online looking for one herb that's going to treat your condition, but working with an experienced herbalist who has knowledge of these herbal formulas and how to combine them to not just treat your condition, but to treat your whole system holistically and achieve homeostasis and true balance in your body, mind. Thank you very much.